Best AMD B650 Motherboards. MSI Pro B650MA Wi-Fi, $200. In terms of features, it's a well-equipped micro ATX motherboard, though I have to say there's nothing particularly noteworthy about it. As there's no PCIe 5.0 support, you get the standard 2 M.2 slots and 3 PCIe expansion slots. It includes 11 USB 3.2 ports, so that's nice, and you also get Wi-Fi 6E and 2.5 gigabits LAN. There's basic Realtek ALC 897 audio, and the I/O panel is fairly basic, we'd say. 8 USB ports in total, no Type-C, the audio and network connections along with a DisplayPort, HDMI output and a BIOS flash button. MSI Pro B650P Wi-Fi, $220. This ATX model has been upgraded with 75A Renesas power stages, and in total there's a dozen for a 12-phase V-Core. That's a significant and impressive upgrade that's probably worth the extra $20 alone. But if not, you also get an additional PCIe slot and a Type-C USB on the I/O panel. ASRock B650 MPG Riptide Wi-Fi, $180. For the money, it appears well equipped. ASRock has squeezed 4 PCIe expansion slots onto a micro ATX board, along with 2 M.2 slots, and one of those M.2s supports PCIe 5.0, a feature missing from both MSI models. Around the I/O panel, there's 8 USB ports in total, one of which is a Type-C. You also get 2.5 gigabits LAN, Wi-Fi 6E, HDMI and DisplayPort outputs along with a BIOS flashback button. In total, the board supports 9 USB 3.2 ports and 8 USB 2.0 ports, so there's plenty of USB support on offer. Around the I/O panel, there's 8 USB ports in total, one of which is a Type-C. You also get 2.5 gigabits LAN, Wi-Fi 6E, HDMI and DisplayPort outputs along with a BIOS flashback button. ASRock B650 PG Lightning, $200. This is a larger ATX board, so you get a better PCIe layout, an additional M.2 slot, 3 in total, with the primary still supporting PCIe 5.0. The USB 3.2 support has increased to 11 ports up from 9. There are 12 ports on the I/O panel, 4 of which are USB 2.0, but there's also a Type-C as well. ASRock B650 Pro RS, $220. When compared to the Lightning, the Pro RS features even larger VRM heatsinks, with higher quality thermal pads, on the same 1468 power stage V-Core. The M.2 port configuration remains the same, so the primary port features a heat spreader and supports PCIe 5.0, while one of the other two is limited to PCIe 4.0 and the other PCIe 3.0. Oddly though, the USB support has been cut down with just 7 USB 3.2 ports in total, 4 of which can be found on the I/O panel along with half a dozen of the older USB 2.0 ports. Gigabyte B650 MDS3H, $155. Of the motherboard's Gigabyte offers, the B650 MDS3H is the most affordable of them, which can be found for just $155. Despite that though, it's a good-looking board that includes large VRM heatsinks and a large M.2 heat spreader that covers the primary and secondary M.2 slots. In total, there's 2 PCIe expansion slots, 2 M.2 slots, 7 USB 3.2 ports and 8 USB 2.0 ports along with a 2.5 gigabits LAN connection. The I/O panel doesn't include a pre-installed shield and only features 4 USB 3.2 ports, but one is a Type-C, and then there's an additional 4 USB 2.0 ports, so a similar configuration to many of the $200 to $220 boards we've already looked at. Gigabyte B650M Gaming X-Ax, $200. Next, we have the Gigabyte B650M Gaming X-Ax, which is $200, and for the most part it's the same motherboard as the DS3H. It includes the same VRM, half a dozen 60A power stages for the V-Core. The M.2 and PCIe configuration is the same, and the I/O panel is identical with the addition of Wi-Fi 6E along with a pre-installed I/O shield. Thanks for watching. Check the description for links to purchase any of these products.